Thank you, mate. It's remarkably easy to stand up here as a man, actually, and say, we need to stop it. But what Simon's story shows is it normally involves a huge amount of courage in a moment where you're not sure what to do. That's why a collective action and working as a community and changing a culture together and having other men alongside you who are also determined to be different is what's needed. Because if I'm honest, although I'm all macho and stuff, I usually don't have the courage when it's needed. And the presence of another man alongside me who might say, I recognise that, I see it, and I also want to stand up against it, is what's needed. We got 3 more speakers and then we're going to head down to the Rose. If you've been inspired, I'd love you to text another bloke and say, get down to the Rose in half an hour. You need to come and join the team and help us change the culture. You can do it on silent and you can do it underneath the chair. We're all pretty good at that. Just to mark your cards, we've got 3 more speakers, then we're going to head on down to the Rose. The Pink Punters van is outside where you can grab a coffee on your way. If you do get a chance to invite somebody, that would be brilliant. 3 final speakers. 2 of them have impressive necklaces and one's got a really nice jacket. So would you welcome in a moment Jay Virgo, Deputy MK Mayor James Lancaster, but first, all the way from the traffic carnage of Newport Pagnell, Mayor Paul Day.
Thank you, Paul. I've been contemplating what I say to try and avoid repetition with colleagues. I think probably everyone in the room understands that these appalling statistics, but one is one too many, and it's an issue we have to deal with. So I've took some notes which I'll go through, trying to add other perspectives. I think the first thing to acknowledge is I'm a man. I'm a 55-year-old man. I've always lived in Britain. I've grown up therefore through the 70s, 80s, etc. More of that in a minute. And it does start with me. It does start with men. I was saying to colleagues that I'm coming to speak here, how do you stop women getting killed by men? You get the men to stop killing women. I mean, it's very, very simple, isn't it? Really, and that's what you must do. I don't have. Your contribution, other contributions, a hugely powerful backstory to share. And then I thought, why is that? And I think my role model, my father, wasn't a misogynist. He actually respected women, and I think there are people breaking the cycle who have been brought up in that environment. But I think it's always been possible for men to step forward and be respectful and treat people equally and be decent human beings. But men, as a race, have failed to do so, the vast majority. So I would say, I put myself in my place. I'm not breaking a cycle. I'm fortunate enough to have been brought through a cycle which said treat people right. So I'm very clear on, there are, I think, heroes out there who have been brought up with terrible circumstance around them who have said, I'm not going to be like that role model. But whether you're in that place or whether you've been brought up in a space that says, actually, you should treat people decently, either way, you can pass on to coming generations a proper way of behaving as a man. And I think that's very, very important. As Paul said, I'm Councillor Paul Day. I'm the Mayor of Newport Pagnell. We're a white ribbon accredited organisation. My huge thanks to former councillor, now MP Emily Darlington, for saying to me, why aren't you? And I went back to the council and said, well, what a great idea, we should be. And my town council are not a particularly getting involved in campaigns organisation. I thought this is so important. I went back and I said, right, on our next full council agenda, we should have this. This is such an important issue. And I thought, the fee to be in white ribbon is not that big. I'll pay it myself if need be, because, I think I'll probably get resistance. Unanimous. Absolutely. I was so amazed, actually. Absolutely. I said, I think this is such an important issue. We should be part of this. Unanimous. Every single one of them said, of course we should, Paul. Why aren't we before? absolutely fantastic. So if you're from any sort of organisation, get White Ribbon accredited, be part of this journey, be part of making a difference. So as I said, I think I had a good role model. I think it's not because I have a wife, a mother, 3 daughters, lots of female friends and colleagues. I think violence against women and girls is wrong because it is wrong, and it must be stopped. And I'm proud to play a small role in speaking at things like this, normalising objections to violence against women and girls. Also, my day job, just a little, I'm here as the mayor, but my day job, I'm the director of the 20th largest trade union in the country for a profession that is 2/3 women. We saved a 100-year-old women's association from folding 5 years ago, and through them we've been doing quite a bit of work. So today they've been promoting safe spaces and encouraging much more places where women who are victims can go and seek work. It's in the health sector. It used to be Ask for Annie, and they say now it's safe spaces. So again, what my organisation at work have done is we've said to all of our members, we've got 38,000 members across the country, 2/3 women, like the profession, they're pharmacists, and we're saying, here's the note you can send to your employer to say, why can't we be a safe space as well? Because all of us, whatever our organisation is, whatever its role in society and in the country, there is an opportunity for you as an organisation, your employer, you know, a company you work for, whatever, to somehow get involved and stop this horrible, horrible disease. I was reflecting when I said more about the 80s, and this isn't from the 80s disco. I was reflecting on a time. I thought, what can I talk about? I agreed to speak because it needs to be talked about. But I thought, what am I going to talk about? Because I don't have this personal narrative to bring. And I remember being in the pub when I was 17. I used to drink quite a bit, and I was in the pub, and I was a regular. I was in there every night, at least every night, and also every lunchtime at weekends. And there was a guy there, and he was a great guy. He used to play pool. And one night, he'd forgotten his keys or something. He'd left something at home, and his wife came up. I'm only 17, and his wife came up, and she was black and blue from where he used to assault her. And I remember I was reflecting on this, and what happened was, I said, what's happened to that guy's wife? And other men just said, oh, he beats his wife. And that was it. And I'm trying to reflect now as I think about this. I reflect now, is it because I've had some life experience, I'm now 55, or has society changed? That wouldn't happen now, or would it happen now? You know, I don't really go to the pub very much. But, you know, is that environment there? Or have we perhaps, is there a glimmer of hope? The fact that this event wouldn't have happened some years ago, is there a glimmer of hope that actually we are on that journey and we're not finished until every case is ended and there isn't another case of it? But is there a glimmer of hope that means we can make changes? And I also think, I mean, we've heard horrible, horrible cases. But I also think, for particularly what my day job is, which is helping people in working environments, and we're forever, every day, we're helping people who are subject to not violent assault that puts them in the hospital, but sexual harassment, sexual discrimination. That's what me and my colleagues do every day as a day job. And to me, there is a path. I'm not saying every incident goes down this path, but I think there is a path from discrimination through misogyny to assault to killing. And I think, what can I do as our organisation? Well, you know, if it's a serious assault, this is a matter for Dennis and colleagues. It's a police matter, or, you know, for asking for support as a victim, whatever it might be. But I think, so what can we do as a town council? And I think, whilst we're not at that hard end of stuff, I think what we are good about doing, what our role is, I'm very keen. We provide services and facilities for our town, but I personally really believe we're civic leaders and we should show an example to our communities. We're community leaders as councillors. And I think what we can do is tackle that discrimination end of things so it doesn't get to misogyny. I mean, you know, if friends are misogynist or whatever, I'll call it out personally, but I'm saying, what can my organisation that I'm stood here representing do? And I think what we can do is we can really tackle and look for inclusion, and we do that. And we're saying, you know, even things like, you know, sport is for girls. There is an equal place, because after all, we either all live in an equal world or none of us do. And I think there are lots of us that don't need to say, I need to go to a bus stop and stop a giant man beating up a random stranger. But what I can do, and what I encourage everybody to do, all men particularly, but all of us, is to, if you hear an act of misogyny, if you see an instance of discrimination, to call it out, to stop it, because where does it lead if you don't? Thank you.